tries to, and we're live with the Scallywags Sketchcast. Our hosts are, as usual, Owen Dern, and our special guest is our Lord and Majesty, Finni Chang. Did I get the title correct?
Master, but that's okay.
Lord
It
and
was
Master.
It was Master of the Universe. I think.
Master of the
Yes.
Universe? Master of the Universe. I will jot that down on my show notes, which I, for some reason, stopped using. Master of the Universe. She has the power. She is Finni Chang. Let's really quickly let's put the camera on your blank empty sheet and really quickly just kind of introduce yourself to the people. Master of the Universe.
Alright, hi everyone. My name is Finny. I draw things. That's pretty much the best description I can give.
Well, it's not good enough. Try again.
Although, to be fair, somebody who draws things is pretty much our standard rule of who to get as a guest for the Sketchcast.
Alright, I'm primarily an illustrator. I also do things like character design, concept design, mostly character-oriented, and my work is pretty much primarily like anime manga influenced, and I favor things like bright colors and lots of light and contrast. Yeah.
And things that are cute as fuck.
And things that are cute!
Yes.
It's amazing. Like, the typical response I get from people when I show them your work is, "Aww." that I would put that in your convention bio.
Like if you do a sketchbook and you need pull quotes on the back, it would be O on the back going, "Aww."
No, I don't. I never said I did that.
You do that, O. You do that.
I'm just rough all around.
Wait a minute, O. What are you doing here?
I'm drawing
Why are you drawing?
because the show started.
The show started, but the clock didn't start yet.
Well, that's
I
your
just started
problem.
because I saw him starting.
Hold on a second. Let's put the minutes on the clock. We've got an hour and 30 minutes on the clock of battle, the battle clock, and go. Although
Okay,
we
so-
could actually tell the audience what our topic is.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
no, wait. I'll go ahead. So for those of you new to the show, what we do here is basically guest, which is in this case Miss Finny Chan, gets a chance to choose a topic. She has chosen the topic Monster Girls, and we just draw for an hour and a half. It's on a timer that you do not see, but it is time.
We periodically show the audience how much time is left on the clock.
I didn't know it was that fascinating. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I usually give them updates so that the audience has an idea of, oh, this happened in a half hour, this happened in 15 minutes.
You just want you just want to switch over to your screen every now and then to not feel
Yes, I do.
left out. But in any case, so that's what we do. We sketch for an hour and a half, and while we talk, in this case, to Miss Finny Chang, in other cases, to other people. So we have here. So she draws things as she said.
Now, we also will take questions from the audience. However, the normal question and answer button that we like to use is broken at the moment. It's got a bit of a bug in it. So for those that have a question for us, please feel free to just comment on the YouTube channel as it's happening. And we will be able to see those comments as they come in. And we will read out the questions accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exciting way to say that. We have the ability to read, is what we're saying. We're very excited about this, and we like to share.
Occasionally. We occasionally have the ability to read.
There's definitely some times where it slips away, yeah.
So, as you know, while we get questions, let us pry and prod into Finny Chang's artistic life. So, Miss Finny, tell us about your art education. Let's start right there.
So that's a fun story. I have pretty much no art education. I went to school and got my degree in human biology, and then later pursued a master's in molecular and cell biology.
Wow.
You do currently win the prize as most educated. No, maybe not. Blair might be beating you on most educated guess.
Well, she's in the process of.
I think she's in the process of getting her doctorate at this point, right?
Yeah.
But
She's in the process, but so far, okay.
But
That's pretty cool. Yeah, don't do that to our guest.
I was getting very excited. I was like, dude, milestone, and then I was like, oh, no, accuracy.
No, just kidding.
Yes, sorry. We gave it to you, and then we took it away.
So us uneducated bastards, we admire you, Finny. Okay, so anyway, human biology.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing, and at some point I had to admit to myself I was being pretty miserable. So
wait, what were you doing?
I was doing research. Not sure if I want to bore you with the specifics.
Were you digging up cadavers?
No, much less interesting. I worked with amoebas. In cell plates. They don't talk back. So.
Well, but maybe you made a flesh-eating virus.
No.
Well, you could have just said you did.
Okay, I totally did, and I unleashed it on the entire lab, and then they had to close down the place, and that's why I changed to art.
So what you're saying is a good thing you became an artist, because had you actually continued on this path, you had a high chance of going mad scientist out of boredom.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so the world has been saved by the art of Finni Chang.
So when did the decision come around to be?
I was actually it happened not long after I met you guys at Comic-Con that one year. I wasn't having any time for all of my artwork, and I was because I always did art on the side and I posted on the internet and stuff. I was getting job offers. And I was turning them down because my schedule was so full with all these sciencey things. So then I just decided to quit.
So we made you drop out of science.
Oh yes, totally.
It's totally our fault, is what we're hearing.
I just love the fact that maybe we could. Can we have a fuck science moment? and it's not that I actually think fuck science, but it's just that everybody's always like so trendy with the whole I fucking love science and that kind of crap that, why not? Why doesn't anybody go, you know what, fuck science?
Oh, believe me, there are people in the world that fuck science on a regular basis.
Wow.
Yeah, but
not like sexually. I mean, like, they screw things up for the rest of us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for people who haven't done any work in science, I don't think people realize that it's an extremely frustrating process. It kind of feels like when you're working on Photoshop for a while and you didn't hit save, and everything disappears and you got to start over. Biology is a lot like that. Because things will get messed up and you don't know why, or suddenly you'll have a contamination and everything goes awry and you don't know why, and you just got to start over.
That's okay. That's an interesting way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, what happened after you went fuck science?
So then I started working, doing like contract freelance work, and then I decided that I should probably actually get some training. It would probably help me in the long run. So I ended up taking some courses at the Animation Guild in Burbank in California, and also at this little academy called Concept Design Academy in California. They're very much like oriented to animation students, but they're taught by animation industry professionals, and for an extremely low cost.
Oh.
And
I'm going to really quickly tag in real quick because I just noticed something on the art. You actually did you start by drawing her skeleton and then fleshing her out?
Yep.
And then you keep making her a disembodied head.
Yeah, it's because I just haven't really decided on where I want that head to be, but...
Okay.
And, drawing the skeleton, it's not a bad idea, but you don't really have to do it as much as... I just like drawing the skeleton, even if I'm not going to keep it.
I want to check because I was staying on Finny's channel a little bit too long there, so I wasn't watching. I wanted to make sure you weren't starting with the skeleton and leaving the skeleton and went to something else. But I actually can see the hips still there.
Yeah, I just like that. It's part of my thing. Okay. So, taught by animators for...
Aspiring animators.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that was a great experience. And then before I had a chance to take another term, I got hired full-time at the studio I was contracting for, and that's where I am now.
Oh, okay. And that studio would be?
I work for Gaia Interactive, so I'm most known for the online website Gaia Online.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking off the top of my head, also most known for usually the loudest, biggest booth at any anime convention. Like, I know at least 3 different shows where I've walked past their booth on the floor, and it just has, like, this sonic reverberance around it.
Yeah, they do a lot of free giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, even I tried. I know even I tried one of their games once.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So, and what do you do there?
Exciting.
What I do is I make the pixel sprites for the avatars, and I also create promotional illustrations and make NPCs and stuff for their game elements.
Okay, and that's and what can you tell us about the game? About how how many people play it, stuff like that, or
I don't know.
or is this like not info that you handle?
That's not my department, but
I don't know. I mean, maybe
She just
they
makes it
give you,
look pretty.
that's
her
my
job.
I don't
job.
know. Maybe there's like an intro day, and they give her like all this information.
No,
And you gotta You go in the lunchroom and there's just like, and this is actually a true story from one of my wife's previous jobs, that she would go into the lunchroom and they had a PR tape on a loop just spouting off facts and propaganda about the company.
Wow,
It was one of the worst places to work.
that's really intense.
Yeah, it was odd.
I don't know. I kind of think that my employees should know what. Like our intern,
employees, yeah.
our intern will regularly, like every single semester, the new intern has to ask me the same questions, like what have you guys done, all this kind of stuff, and it's because they have to report it to the university. So anyway,
Anyway, art question now for Finny. I noticed you actually thumbnailed out what you were going to draw. Are you planning on making this in mini-comic form? Because you initially started with 2 panels and you even have space for a 3rd ready to go.
It's just something to get a spatial awareness for what I'm doing before I get started, just so I have kind of a feel. When I made up in my head that I wanted to do some sort of harpy, like a warrior harpy, I was like, I wanted to be in flight, I wanted to be dynamic, and just having a thumbnail is a little easier for me to start working instead of just doodling aimlessly, especially since we're on a time limit.
So the thumbnails were just... I think it looks like you're doing the 2nd thumbnail, right?
I am. I've just put my canvas horizontally for now, which is something I do very, very often. I have it shortcutted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we have any questions yet?
Not yet, I think.
Do we have any viewers?
Yes, we do have viewers. I'm kind of janking around here trying to find. Let me make sure. No, we do have questions.
Great.
Oh man.
Why are you? You're sighing at this question.
No, I'm sighing at just all the little settings and adjustments that we have to do. We're breaking in the new channel tonight. This is our first.
You complaining?
Yes. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just we do finally have the official Scallywags International web channel. So if you're on the YouTube channel part of it and watching us, feel free to actually like, comment, and subscribe. The first time we can say that without sarcasm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now every single like, comment, and subscription actually is very useful to us.
Okay. First question that we have tonight is that Mr. Zuniga has been working on a webcomic, and he's having trouble deciding the names of the characters. And how do you guys come up with the names for your characters?
Thesaurus.com. I often have to come up with names of characters and items and like flavor text for work, and pretty much everyone just has a thesaurus.com open all the time. And we also use things like baby name books.
Baby name websites, actually.
Or, yeah, websites. My bad.
Yeah.
Well, they could have books.
Well, you could have books, yeah, but honestly, what is available now in baby name websites is freaking amazing.
It's crazy and really useful. Or sometimes if I need a really fancy name, I keyboard smash and add a bunch of extra vowels, and that's my fantasy name.
Oh. Okay.
That is actually a really great idea. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I really don't feel you're qualified to answer this question.
Well, I was just about to say, yeah, you know, I don't really feel that I'm the best source because look at what my characters are called. They're called O. Well, actually, the names of the characters that are my friends in the webcomic, their names just come from their real life nicknames. Like Carlos, well, that's not a nickname. He's actually called Carlos, and Bate, his nickname is actually Bate.
For those that are English speakers and read commissioned, the guy that you think is named Beatty is actually pronounced Bate.
CJ is actually her nickname.
Mm-hmm.
And but then in the webcomic, well, let's face it, Dwarf's name is Dwarf. Word Tiger's name, yeah, a Word Tiger named Word Tiger, an elf named Elf, lizard folk. I'm talking about the ones that I named. A lizard folk named Lizzie. That's not exactly.
We mutually named that one.
Yeah, but you know, it kind of follows the same line.
But it was and we purposely did that. We did Lizzie to fall within line with Dwarf, Elf, and Were Tiger.
Raven just comes from the fact that I wanted a gothy sounding name.
Well, and we wanted it. We haven't actually revealed this publicly, but Raven is being played by Raven, and I always liked the idea of the player that refuses to come up with a fictional name for their character. So they just
And
Princess
but there is a reason. Yeah, but that one was you. That was your name. But there is a reason that they're named that way, and I feel that when there's a reason for the names that you're giving your characters, it all kind of works out in the end. If there's like a good enough reason. In my case, when the webcomic started, I just wanted it to keep it nice and simple and almost generic. So that kind of worked out at that moment. Now it's just like part of the joke.
Yeah, it actually is one of the things that I hated the most about the Adventures of Dwarf, Elf, and Were Tiger. Like, if I had the short list of things, that's why in my head I had to like get reasons, like really deep, intricate reasons why 3 characters were named Dwarf, Elf, and Were Tiger. And then Lizzie is a bit of a slant version of it, and you got Princess Glitter Sparkle. When we went to name the gnomes, they all have there's a certain tinkery type of way of naming gnomes, so they almost have, they're very often named after their trade, and their trade is always some crazy gnome type thing.
Except Fiddlebutt, that was just me.
Yeah, well, that was
calling a guy Fiddlebutt.
He fiddles with things.
Nope, that's not why he's called Fiddlebutt.
Well,
he's called Fiddlebutt because it's funny.
Yeah, and so that's me changing his history a little bit there and giving him a fiddler type persona. Yeah.
But yeah.
The cats, the furs. We named all the furs except we didn't actually. We made it reasonable why somebody would name a fur Were Tiger, and we also named all the other furs after household cat names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's these giant cat people with names like Mr. Whiskers and Fluffy and.
So in the end, I guess the best piece of advice came from Miss Finny here, which
keyboard smash.
Keyboard smash. Yeah.
Honestly, the baby names. That's a huge thing. Like, figure out how old your character is, what culture they belong to. You can actually search and find the top 500 names from that particular era. And then my bit of advice on this as somebody who really obsesses with those type of names and those conventions, is that if your character is kind of a nobody, go with a top 10 name. Because that means they're just part of the crowd. That's a John Smith type of thing. But John Smith is no longer like one of the more popular names out there. So if you want him to sort of blend in and be sort of an everyman, go high. But if you want him to be unique and quirky, go really low. And then if you want him to just be generally successful, you go kind of in the middle.
And I'd say don't be afraid to do some research depending on where they're from. Like, all this advice Dern said is very American.
No. The baby names, like, culturally, you can...
No, the names. The names that are very American names. So, like, if you're going to go with Colombian names, well, you know what are the common names in Colombia. If you're going to go with another country that is not familiar to any of us, well, do your research. Don't give somebody, you know, like, don't go the bad route of, you know, making, I don't know, somebody from the Middle East and just making him, like, Ahmed, because you don't know anything.
I'm serious about that. On the baby names things, you can actually not just look at top 500 names from that year they were born, but top 500 names from that year from X country.
Well, that kind of classifies as research, doesn't it?
Yes, and that's where I'm saying that the baby name websites can make it so easier to do that.
And that has been how Dern named his baby, brought to you by Scallywags.
Yes, actually it was.
I know it was.
Yes.
I know it was. That's why I'm saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how.
I've refused to name my kid anything that was in the top 100 names for the past 5 years.
And that's the end of that topic.
Yep.
So,
I'm really digging the Harpy right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like we were off camera for you for a little bit, and then we just suddenly like flash back, and all of a sudden torso and legs. Bam.
So, any other questions, or shall we continue prodding Miss Chang?
You go ahead and prod her again.
Okay.
That doesn't sound right. Ask a question.
Okay, Miss Chang. So, tell us, artistically, what is it that you enjoy doing the most? And, yeah.
For me, it's the emotional impact of characters. I think that, you know, a strong story and relatable characters and in situations that normal people won't get to experience is kind of the most important part of creating this kind of stuff. I'm going to be really sentimental, and I'm saying that fictional characters can really make such an impact on someone's life. Sometimes for like a big change, just because they get to see the perspective in someone else's shoes. And that's what I find to be so enjoyable about making and creating artwork.
And do we have a least favorite part?
The least favorite part was the technical. Like, after you create something like this piece, I'm about mentally done with it. From this point on, it's just really technical stuff. Like rendering paintings is probably the least enjoyable part. And probably also the I wouldn't say politics, but I would say
the drama.
The drama of it, yeah.
The drama.
Dramas.
The drama.
Yeah, I don't feel like calling it drama because that sounds like it's almost too official. But let's face it, every now and then artists can get incredibly stupid, and they crank out the drama.
The drama. Yeah, that's definitely the least favorite part.
Okay. And well, that's awesome. But I was asking more like what you like to draw the most.
What I like to draw. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know I'm not profound.
I was gonna say, I'm just like thinking about it. Like the way she's answering this is like you can almost sense that she's feeling guilty for doing like a profound, deep answer as she's doing it. Like, I'm sorry for actually adding depth to the show. You know.
I'm just asking, like, what do you like to draw?
So then my favorite things to draw would be really kick-ass girls. And I tend to favor things with a combination of like strong and soft silhouettes and lines. And I like lots and lots of colors.
Okay.
And whenever applicable, cute things.
Okay.
I like lots and lots of colors, as you're currently working exclusively in a grayscale at the moment.
Well, I'm establishing my light. I gotta do that first.
Okay.
Colors will come. Trust me.
Okay, and what about the least?
Least favorite things.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of things that I've handed O to draw that he has complained about. Like, he will complain about when he has to draw Klingons.
Well, but that's not even a thing. That's very specific. Like, I don't like to draw portraits. I don't like to draw real people.
Yeah.
It bugs me. It annoys me. It's and I don't mean I don't mean that I don't like to draw stuff inspired in real people. I mean, like, when somebody asks me for an actual portrait, I don't like
I have to agree with that. I just
boring as hell.
that if you're looking for portraits, just hire a photographer.
Absolutely agreed there.
They can do great things, composition, lighting. It'll make everything look better than reality. But if you're going to work with an artist, get something a little more adventurous. Be bold.
Would you be okay with, like, portraits of the person doing something they can't physically do?
Yeah, I guess.
See,
In that one, my condition would be how photorealistic do you want it to be? Because that's where I'm out. Like,
and see, yeah, that's me as a person who will buy art from artists. My logic is I'm buying that artist's style and their skills. I don't want a photo. I want their style. And I think that's the disconnect that some people who buy sketches from very talented artists, like people that they know that you could do photorealistic, and so then they start to expect that. That's not cool, but style is cool.
I definitely agree. I think what you're paying for is like to be able to see your idea through that artist's eyes, and to ask them to do something that's like exactly as this is. It's a little boring.
Yeah, I'm sitting here nodding in agreement as if I'm actually on camera. Like, yes, of course.
nobody's looking at you.
No. Nobody's looking at anybody. We're just looking at art, which, it's how we do.
Okay.
For some reason, I nearly hit the stop broadcast button right there. Like, I was clicking back and forth from one window to the other to check to see if there were any questions coming in, and I nearly just tore the whole thing down.
No, don't do it, Dern.
No. I will take this cast down.
Okay. So we've established what you like to draw and what you don't like to draw. We've established,
Here's a bizarre question that I'm trying to figure out. I thought that you knew O before you met us at San Diego. Was I wrong on that?
Yes,
we literally walked up to the table and we're like, "Hi."
You're wrong.
So wait, did you know who we were, or just we looked cool?
No, we read commissioned. Me and my boyfriend.
Okay, well that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It counts.
Yes. At that point, you know who O is.
Yeah. So it's kind of like knowing somebody and not really knowing them, and just being a creeper and showing up like, "Hey, I read your stuff. I like it."
Do you still read it?
Not recently, but my boyfriend does keep up very religiously.
Is it the same boyfriend we met?
Yes, it is.
And that was a horrible question to ask.
No. Honestly,
I'm so glad the answer was yes.
I'm thinking to myself, like, that's an odd question, though, but at the same time, if it wasn't, did you force him to start reading it? And if so, thank you. It's like, that's just now a requirement for dating. It's like, you have to read commission. Sorry. Fire it up. Start reading it now. Yep.
Well, okay, well,
Give me plot summaries. Let me know how the characters are doing.
Well, I'm okay with that. At least we still got your boyfriend.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still in the family. We're still a part of it. Okay, question. Following question. You like bunnies, don't you?
I do like bunnies a lot. I have one of my own.
That's why I'm asking. I've seen it.
usually hop around here somewhere, but I think he went to go hide.
We have the weirdest menagerie going on because this is I've actually let Sally sneak down into the office, so my dog is downstairs. You've got your cats, and Finny has her bunnies now. So yes, good talk.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so bunnies.
Yeah, I can talk about bunnies for a long time. Don't get me started.
No, seriously?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, tell us something about bunnies.
How do you get into bunnies as being like the ultimate pet? Okay, honestly, because I've been starting to see more and more historical photos of pets that people used to have in the 50s and 60s when we were batshit crazy, and somehow bunnies just seem like a giant step down from that.
Well, I think because rabbits are usually mistaken as rodents, which they aren't, and so they act very differently, and they're also the care for them is very different than like hamsters or guinea pigs and things like that. And a lot of people don't know that rabbits can be litter trained. So I've got a rabbit litter box. He goes in there. I don't have to clean up his mess. Well, I do have to clean his box, but it's not
I
like
was just about to say, you have to
everything
clean up the
everywhere.
box.
Yeah, but it's like taking care of a cat that's doesn't.
So you have a free roaming rabbit.
Yes,
Just wow.
I do.
Do you ever step on it?
Yes, I punt him in the face regularly. He just knows that
was not expected.
Since people give him food, so he knows that if he sticks with the humans, he'll get fed. And sometimes in the morning, open the bedroom door, and he's waiting right there, and we don't see him because we just want to go brush our teeth, and put him in the face.
Oh, well, okay. Wow. So.
This took a turn for the dark all of a sudden.
Well, it's not. It kind of doesn't it sound kind of like a sex thing, like bunny punching?
Wow. Wow.
Like it kind of makes me want to look it up. Like
One moment.
Like, I bet there's a sex thing out there called bunny punching.
Wow.
And now we get to wonder, is Finny starting to regret giving us permission on the ratings?
Not yet.
Bunny punching. It's a thing.
Google is auto-filling this out for me.
Why do you have Google on autofilter?
No, it autofill.
Oh, autofilling? And what did it fill?
That's what I want.
It filled out bunny puncher.
Oh. It is going to be a sex thing. I can feel it.
You know what? It actually is tied to anime.
It is?
It gets even better.
Tell
Okay.
me.
It was it's in reference to the mother on Shin-Chan, who punches a bunny repeatedly when she's frustrated.
That's
not
specific.
sexual. Yeah, that's not sexual at all. Okay, well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the frustration, I suppose, but then there's also bunny punch.
Okay, now it gets sexual.
No, sorry. Unauthorized use of internet bandwidth?
What?
What? That's a bunny punch?
Is that the definition for a bunny punch?
No, Urban Dictionary doesn't like these entries, I should point out.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
There's a lot of thumbs downs going here.
Okay, well, where you guys see disappointment, I see opportunity. Like, this is a great opportunity to just come up with the bunny punch.
There is a vulgar definition of bunny punch there.
Okay, what is it?
I'm just gonna say there's a vulgar definition of it there.
Are you censoring yourself? Why would you do that? Why would you be censoring?
Okay, okay. Well, it wasn't a very creative definition for starters.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to think of how to rephrase this. It's basically if the girl were going cowboy and the guy decided to punch the little man in the boat. And somehow that's supposed to finish the job for her.
Wait, you
Pretty sure.
Why are you calling it the little man in the boat? What is wrong with you?
Oh, I could go with clit. Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah, it's a clit punch, is what's being described. And I'm sorry, I had the other C word stuck in my head, and I was like, I really don't want to use that right now. Yeah, so a punch in the clit, and I'm just thinking to myself, that's not effective.
No.
Yeah, if that were like a Pokemon attack, you're not getting super effective. It's like, that's not very effective.
I
Yeah.
fail to see how that. No.
No. Sorry, Bunny Punch just took a turn for the awkward. So yeah, it's being defined by people who don't know the sex. I think that's what happened there.
Pretty
So
much.
what should it be?
It should be.
I think the problem is the punch factor.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, it's going to be a violent sex act.
Oops.
And I think the other half of it is that with bunnies, we're just a little bit too used to, the like rabbits connotation. So, on that note, do you only ever keep one rabbit?
I only have one right now. I really wish I had more, but since I've been moving a lot, I just don't want to subject another rabbit to that kind of life, basically. Also because mine right now, he's 6 years old, and I'm not sure if another bun will be good for to deal with him. He has all his own space to himself all the time. I'm not sure.
Is 6 old in rabbit years, or?
6 is it depends on if the rabbit's been fixed, because that'll dramatically increase its lifespan. So on average, spayed and neutered rabbits can live about 10, 12 years old.
Okay. So, dog-ish.
Dog-ish, like
Yeah.
big dog-ish.
No, I have a cat that's, we're actually putting her through, we were counting it up the other day, and I think this is her 8th move at this point.
Oh,
And it's her 2nd cross-country move. Like, she was born on the West Coast, was flown out east, and is now just flew back out west again. And actually got an ear infection on the flight.
Poor baby.
So she was walking around her new house like a drunkard for a while there, just like, I don't know where my food is, and I'm drunk. It was funny, really was.
Yeah, it's so funny when pets are sick or otherwise.
Well, not so much when they're sick, but when they're just like impaired.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when my rabbit came back from getting neutered and he was still like halfway sedated. It's the cutest thing ever.
So you want to take embarrassing videos of it so that, when it tries to go on a date later, you just show that to the date.
Exactly.
So we check in on the battle clock real quick. We have just under 55 minutes left. And you guys it feels like both of you guys have laid down about all your primary lines at this point.
I don't know, I kind of make lines up as I go, so it will definitely warp as I work on it.
Oh, and I win the lotto today as to which family member will forget that I'm in the middle of a podcast and will start trying to contact me in the middle of it. We may have lost O. O, are you there?
Maybe he disconnected because the screen stopped moving as well.
Oh,
no,
he's
there.
moving again. I think he was away from his desk for just a moment there. Well, let's let the mystery develop.
Dun dun dun.
No? Because I think I can. He has like a certain flavor of background noises that I could pick up from his apartment, just because of the he's on the floor level, so sometimes you hear some road noises, sometimes some screaming kids, and he's saying he's here and his microphone has died. So, this is the Sketchcast with just Dern and the visuals of O, with special guest Finni, Master of the Universe. So, okay, the other thing that we wanted to talk about is that you're getting set, ready to go. You've got a show. You'll be at Anime Boston in.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's in like 4 or 5 days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So are you at the point now where it doesn't matter how nervous you are, or is
Pretty
it?
much. I've done so many conventions in the past couple of years that now it's kind of like just another one,
Mm-hmm.
which is. Oh, we lost O.
Yeah, we did lose O. I'm bringing him back in right now, so see if we can reboot his mic.
But yeah, I mean, I do so many nowadays that it is just another one. Though this is my first convention in several months, so I am admittedly a little bit nervous.
It's so how many shows did you get in last year?
I think 12.
So roughly about one a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's close to my schedule too. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean when it's like you take a couple months off. Like, do you get kind of antsy at a certain point? Like, why am I not a show?
Yeah. But then after that, you kind of get used to the civilian life. And now that I'm going cross country for one, I'm just a little bit nervous. But, you know, it's no big. I can handle it.
No, my problem is that I have to do a cross country move in the next 10 days, and then I've got a show in Seattle in 15 days.
Oh my goodness, for Emerald City?
Emerald City, yeah. We'll be up on the 3rd floor of that one. Oh, I think you're still missing your microphone, aren't you? Yeah, he is still missing his microphone. Well, hopefully he has a couple options, so he might be cycling through them right now. He's also talking shit to me on the chat and just saying, no shit, you think? Yeah. Right. There was an outside chance that he was just being polite and waiting to not interrupt to announce that he has got his microphone back, but it's O, so yeah. So this is going to be interesting because he's losing some precious minutes on his sketch tonight as he has to futz with this. Already, I think he's in a pretty good position though. Like
yeah,
he can.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, we got some O noise.
Okay, but this requires me to switch to the meteor mic, and that's not exactly something I'm very happy about. Because it's very noisy.
We need to adjust the levels on your meteor because if you get it right, it's very good.
Well, that would also imply me just leaving it in one place always. Yeah. Well, in any case, you guys can hear me now, right?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Well, that's. I'm gonna see if maybe I can switch back to the headset because otherwise I don't know what happened.
So when did you start doing shows?
Geez, it's been since like
Do I have audio
2006?
You got audio. See, yeah, clearly we should not have been expecting O to be politely waiting.
Shit, who are you to talk to me about being polite?
I've been very polite tonight.
Tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Today is the first day of the rest of my very polite life.
At first, before I noticed that my mic was dead, I was kind of getting pissed off because, like, I was talking and nobody was responding to me.
Nobody's responding
like, what
to
the
me.
fuck?
That is a special brand of anger. And then, like, what do you get to do with it afterwards? It's like, well, fuck that. I'm still pissed.
No, I'm just switching tactics here. I don't like to continue working if something bad happened with what I was doing, so I'm just switching here, changing a little bit my tactics.
Like
on the art, I mean.
Yeah. So I'm really quickly switching in, checking. So you seem to be wanting to lay down some harder lines now. It looks like.
Yeah, when something like that happens, like when you're drawing something and it goes bad, like not the drawing, but kind of, I had a moment of sincere pissed offness there, where I'm like, why are these people ignoring what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? It's not like you're even talking about something interesting. You're talking about moving.
Yeah, it's clearly something that's like really resting heavy on my brain, but I don't want to talk about it. Yeah,
like, nobody wants to know about your move, Dern.
No, I don't want to know.
Like burning with hatred and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, the hatred is still there. It doesn't just leave.
I need you to guide me, Oh. I'm lost without you.
So yeah, but kind of burned with hatred there for a minute. I'm like, what the fuck do you guys think you're doing? Talking about moving and shit.
Now let's talk about shows, because that's been one of those things that's like fun for me. It's and there's the paranoia of like, oh god, I got a show coming, I've got to ship stuff out, and like, do you have stuff? Do you have stuff shipped ahead of you at this point?
Yeah, I go ahead and ship it straight over. And it also helps with like the luggage and whatnot.
My luggage, I always have that stuff packed up. It's like 50 pounds a bag.
Yep,
Yeah.
I get it to about 48, but I can't really carry many of those 50-pound bags on my own, so I do have to ship stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, paper is fun to try and pack and pretend that it's only paper. It's not that heavy.
Right, and it's especially funny when I go and check into the airport, because I'm like this 5-foot-tall little girl, and they take my bag and they're like, "Oh my god, what's in here?" And I just tell them it's dead bodies.
So you like visiting with the TSA, is what you're telling me?
I get a letter from them every single time I travel. Sometimes I get 2. One time I got 4.
The little slips that they put in your bag to say this has been searched.
Yep, the little love notes.
For a while there, I used to have this PVC pipe frame that I would like bolt onto the table, and I made it purposely as like sculptury as possible, so it's got all these weird T joints and X joints put onto it for no reason. So that always got disassembled and carefully inspected. So that was always fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that get carried, and people are like, "What is that?" It's like, don't worry about it.
Oh, on the other hand, it gets all sorts of TSA fun trying to go back to Colombia.
I also get a lot of fun trying to go into the U.S. And it's all fun all around.
Yeah, it's just delightful fun. I was actually referring to the peanut butter.
Well, you don't want to go into that because you'll end up looking a lot worse.
It's actually been brought up recently by some friends of the show that they had not heard this story. So it occurs to me that we've never told the peanut butter story on the Sketchcast. So yeah. I'm okay letting this story be known.
I'm excited. Story time.
Yes. So this was like one of your first convention visits to the U.S. This was before we were together. And you were trying to bring some peanut butter back home, right?
This was 2007, DragonCon 2007. Peanut butter is available in Colombia. It's very expensive. It's not even bad, but it's expensive.
It's imported or
no,
luxury.
We have local peanut butter, but it's expensive either way.
Mm-hmm.
So peanut butter over there doesn't really cost much. And I saw a bunch of peanut butter. Like they had a sort of 2-for-1 sale. Thing is, I ended up buying like 4 huge jars of peanut butter, and then packing them. My whole packing distribution thing and all that. I kind of I thought more about space than anything else. The space where I was packing and weight and all that. So it kind of seemed like a smart choice to pack the peanut butter on my carry-on because it's heavy and it takes up a lot of space. So my carry-on would be better than on my main luggage. When I get to the airport at at the Atlanta airport, the lady at security, she was actually very nice about it. She told me you can't take the peanut butter. You can't take it. So I asked her why, and she explained to me that the thing was that peanut butter on the whole scanners and stuff registers to have the same consistency as cocaine.
Oh, jeez.
So, I wasn't really ready to argue with the TSA, but, I did at least try to say, yeah, but clearly it's not. You just have to look at it. You can taste it if you want. But no, she's like, no, it's airport regulations. It's not even, it's not up to me or anything. You just can't carry it. So I have 4 giant jars of peanut butter. My luggage was already had already gone through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells me, well, you know, if you want, I can have your luggage called back, and we can put it in your luggage for you. At that point, I'm like, you know what? No, let's just. I got 4 jars of peanut butter here that I can't do anything with. Do you want them? But, no, we're not allowed to do that. So this was very sad. She did tell me like, well, you can eat them if you want.
Just on the spot.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't really think I can, to be honest. So I ended up throwing away in the garbage 4 gigantic jars of peanut butter.
Right.
And that was it for that part of the story.
Right.
I tell this story, and Dern gets quite a good laugh out of it.
Well, it is incredibly funny, and especially since it's at your expense.
Exactly.
But that being said, also then, so next time we do Dragon Con, I make sure that we actually had peanut butter and jelly for some, PB&J sandwiches, just like, convention food during the day. Like we pack a sack lunch, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were making these sandwiches and a 4-day show, and it's a very, very exhausting show. So Monday rolls around, and we're packing everything up because we had to leave for the airport Monday afternoon. Like, we had to close down the booth as soon as it was done, go straight to the airport. I had my booth babe pack up my carry-on, and we got everything else loaded up, ready to go. We clear out of the hotel room, we go do the show. Good day. Love that show. Great final day. And we get to the airport, and we're checking in, and the best part about it was O goes before me through security. And he goes through the metal detector, and he's basically in that no man's land between the metal detector and picking up your stuff off the conveyor belts. And every alarm in the airport just goes off at that point. Like, it's a full-on everybody freeze type of thing.
And the thing is, the security people are actually yelling, like, in my ear, because I'm standing right next to one of those guys. Nobody move! Nobody move! And at that moment, I'm like, holy shit, how strict? Like, I'm seriously wondering, how strict is the limitation on my movement? Because I don't know how much I can move when they're saying nobody move, and since they're shouting in my ear, nobody move, I literally like freeze in place, like with my hands in the position they were and everything, like just literally frozen in place, like it
instant
was some
human
game.
statue.
Yeah. Of course, wondering all the time, like, what the fuck is going on? What happened?
So
of course, since I'm standing at that exact place, I'm thinking, oh shit, what did I do? What's going on? What's wrong now? What's going to be wrong this time?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I actually would just like look over to one of the security guys, like, this is a drill, right? And they're like, yeah, it's a drill. So I'm not even worried. I'm just watching O like be frozen, and I'm just laughing about it. And I'm just thinking, like, yep, professional traveler here. Don't mind me. Belt's already off. Shoes are off. Everything's going through the belt. Everything's just going to be fine and perfect for me. They call off the drill. I go through the security gate, and I go to pick up my backpack and my carry-on, and right away they're like, sir, is this your backpack? And I start thinking about it in the back of my head, and I suddenly realize, ah, crap, that Diet Coke I was drinking, I was actually dumb enough to leave the Diet Coke in my backpack. And so I'm like, oh, no, I'm so sorry about that. There's a Diet Coke. So they start digging through it, and there's a bottle of water in there. And there's a can of Amp, and a Diet Coke. And I'm just like, well, okay, this whole professional traveler thing is pretty much shot at this point, but that's all it was. And so, they throw out my drinks, and I put my backpack on, and I'm noticing they haven't let my roll-around come out. And so I, like, really quickly, like, think to them, like, seriously, it's okay. It's just, it might be giving a weird reading because we had our prints, which are just a big solid block of paper inside that carry-on, and then we also had magnets, so that might be interfering with the X-ray. And they're like, sir, did you pack this bag? And I'm like, yes. And
which, by the way, was a lie.
Which was a lie. I just forgot that it was a lie at that point. I honestly forgot that I told Ebo to pack up the bag.
Ebo being our booth babe.
Ebo, our booth babe. And they open it up, and they pull out the jar of peanut butter that we were making PB&Js with all week, and the jar of jam as well.
I think there was even bread in there.
What's that?
I think even the bread was in there.
Yeah, I think there was even bread.
Were
I want to say like the whole PB&J makings, just bam, right there in the luggage. And I'm just like looking at that, and I clearly have this dumb expression of, how the fuck did that get into my bag? And yeah, so they gave me a little bit of special attention at that point, because it was peanut butter jelly time. Yes.
No, the interesting thing is that at that moment we were traveling with somebody that also had a carry-on filled with murder. Basically, it's
He was another one of the vendors at Dragon Con, and they would make these steampunk accessories, and they had these things that were basically like jeweler glasses that were steampunk styled, so all these different lenses that you could flip in front of your glasses. But to make these things on the spot, they've got all these different tools, X-Acto knives and pliers, and if you opened his luggage, it looks completely like a bomb. Like, it's just wire and tools and sharp objects.
and the guy is just walking through security.
Straight through.
I have gone through with X-Acto knives on many occasions, and I even accidentally walked through with things like scissors and a screwdriver. Nope, no problems.
Oh, I normally carry my art supplies with me, and there's always a knife in there.
Yeah.
And I've never had any problems with it, but, peanut butter, you might snort up that stuff.
My theory is they will only take your knife if you accidentally put a knife that you have sentimental value attached to in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. And they ask you, sir, you're going to have to throw that away?
Yeah. If you really want it, that's when you get in trouble. Or if it's peanut butter.
Or if it's peanut butter, or a Diet Coke, or jelly.
To be fair, I really wanted that Diet Coke. Yeah.
Didn't you actually, drink it?
I seem to remember chugging one of the things, because I was very thirsty at that point. Yeah. And I have no idea why that's important to the story.
And Mr. Professional Traveler here, at one point, just sat down on one of those benches at the security checkpoint place and just laughed his ass off. Yeah.
It was... Okay, I've been on a lot of airline flights, and ever since I was, 12, I started getting pulled out as suspicious persons. I just looked strange. And I find that if I'm traveling with my wife, I don't get pulled out for a random security frisk. And so usually I make sure she stays right by me at all times. I didn't tell her this theory originally, and there definitely was one time where she realized there was a shorter line 2 spots over, and so she just straight up bailed on me and cut 2 lines over. I'm thinking I'm protected because I got the wife there, so they see us together. I'm not suspicious and weird, so I'm not worried about it. Go through security. Instantly, all of a sudden, I've got, the wand just circling around my junk, and they were instructing me to roll down my underwear, twice. Huh?
What?
Well, they thought there was something suspicious around my crotch, so they wanted to pull my pants down a little bit and get a closer look at it.
So you forgot to remove the cock ring from the night before?
No comment. We were bunny punching.
Vigorously. All night.
I'm so glad bunny punching is catching on.
It's
gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna trend.
I think what bunny punching should be is the description for the vigorous sex that you could have while trying to have a child.
Oh, you have to ruin it for me?
Well, it's like rabbits.
You have to ruin it for me.
It has to be something, and it has to be something lame, otherwise it would have a name already.
Couldn't it be grabbing your girlfriend by the ears and punching her to see if that does the job? No, you have to make it about babies.
No.
Damn breeders.
I'm just saying, there's that special magic moment where it's like, let's make a baby, and it's a weird time.
You know what? I hope Dunny punching dies with you.
I giveth and I taketh away.
Yeah.
I just bunny punched it right out of your skull.
You know what? No. Bunny punching is not going to catch on. It just dies right here. Have to make it about babies. It's up to you.
We have no comment from Finny at this point.
I'm pinning feathers.
Yes. The Master of the Universe is, I think, severely doubting some life choices at this point. Like, I always wonder about that. Like, at one point, are we going to get the guest that is like, oh, geez, why'd I do this? Oh, come on. Like, we've definitely had some where we forgot to, like, show the artist what O can actually do in 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes this, oh, God, no, why did I sign up for this? This is terrible. I like that we actually have an artist in you that's keeping pace with O. Like, you guys are both at, we're just about the 2/3 point right now. So we're getting to see pretty much most of the drawing done. It's details time now, except for O, who's.
Well, I decided to go with more defined lines this time, since my earlier tactic was fueled with rage.
With a nice chipped sternum effect.
You know, I went with a more kind of. I think we lost Finny.
We did just lose Finny.
Yeah.
She finally just decided, you know what, I'm tired of you guys. We're done.
So that's it for me.
Yeah. And Finny is coming back. We've got her green screen. Nope, quite all right.
She forgot to say goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
She is quitting on
you
us,
losers.
No, we just decided that was our first rage quit. Yep. Like, nope, we're done with the Sketchcast. No more of the Scallywags. No more.
It's bound to happen eventually.
Just someone gets tired of our shit.
I would guess.
I strongly doubt that. We are just too damn entertaining.
And so humble.
What's with all this we shit that you're saying? I don't see you. I don't see you entertaining anybody. Nope.
Would you like me to be on camera entertaining? I could do that.
Nobody wants to see you, Dirk.
But nobody wants to see
Put
that.
that away, man.
No.
Come on.
No.
Nobody wants to see.
Well, maybe.
Have we had any questions at all this whole time?
I don't think we've had questions because they should be. What the hell?
We just missed like a billion questions, didn't we?
This whole time I'm thinking, well, there's a notification that goes through when I get questions.
You
Not
had
a
one job,
single
man.
notification.
You had one job.
Come on, man.
Google is just killing me.
You had one job, and I don't think blaming Google is gonna work.
There's a question of, was O just mixing his own hair color palette?
Yeah, I was mixing a color palette there, and I'm gonna do it again in a minute.
Oh, you're okay for your illustration. I was very confused there for a moment about what that was about.
I was mixing a color palette. Yeah.
Like, that's O was bald.
People
For
know
those that don't know, I like that to be reminded every now and then. Okay, and then the other question is for new webcomics, where should we put our first pages? I don't think buying an official website is a good start, or is it? So, like, should we share it on Facebook or Tumblr or any other sites?
Anywhere and everywhere, I would say. I'm not a webcomics person, but I do post my stuff online, and I would say just post it everywhere.
Spread it out, yeah. What is a good investment when you're starting a comic is definitely buy the URL and then point it wherever you need it. And like, you don't need to buy your own website right away. But what you could do is that if you get you buy the URL and then you point it at like your Tumblr page and use that as just your host initially for getting it out there. And make sure the URL is on every bit of art you do. That's my best advice.
I'm not sure if it's your best. It's advice.
Do you have the worst advice?
No, I'm just gonna go with everywhere kind of thing. Like even webcomics that have a website still post them on other places. Like just today I was seeing that Juno, we had her on the show a few weeks ago.
Yep.
From Starcross Destiny. She, even though she has her website that is very old and very, people have seen it for years, she still posts her webcomic on Deviant. Like it's there. She posts it there as well. I don't know. I guess in the beginning, since you're not gonna precisely be getting revenue from ad clicks or anything like that, you just want to get it known. I suppose this might become an issue later on when like ad clicks and stuff become an issue. But at first, when you just want to get it known, make it convenient for people. That people don't really have to go to a bunch of places to check you out. Just make it easy to see. So I guess that would be my advice. Later on, things might get more complicated, but you'll cross that bridge when you get to it.
Always exciting advice for the newcomers. And that does clear out our queue of comments so far, yes.
Okay.
And I'll adjust this accordingly so that I actually can keep an eye on that again.
If only we could trust you there.
If only I could trust YouTube today. It is very finicky.
I think blaming Google is one of the lamest excuses I've ever heard.
You can't just blame Google.
I love Google.
Nobody gets to blame Google. Like, if a student of mine showed up to class one day without his homework or anything and he put the blame on Google, I'd be like, you know what? Just
get out.
Get out of my classroom. You don't get
Eventually,
to blame
Google will eat your homework. I could see that happening.
I think something nobody would believe is every now and then, like, I have trouble loading up Google and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one time I called, customers, the IT people here from my ISP, and my internet's having problems and all that kind of stuff. And they ask you all those stupid, condescending questions that, like, did you check this? Did you check that?
Is it plugged in?
Yeah, and I'm like, look, the computer's on. I did everything. I'm trying to load. Like, not even Google loads. And the woman was like, well, maybe Google is down. Fuck you. Google is not down.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, Google will not be down.
Is there a massive amount of outcry happening right now? Yeah. I can think of, like, 5 times total in the past, 6-7 years that Google has actually been down. And it's only ever been, like, parts of it. Like, you could lose Gmail for, like, a few hours.
Oh, yeah, YouTube will occasionally have a hiccup.
Yeah.
And normally they'll just post something, like you'll try to load it and it will say.
Yeah.
Like, we're having this and that issue and stuff like that. But, like, lady, if Google were down, we'd be, like, facing chaos. Like, world-ending chaos here. Google is not down. Fuck you. Fix my internet. Which, by the way, I have to make that call tomorrow.
Oh, man. What's going on with your internet?
It's weird. It's, I was telling you earlier, I'm getting, like, I do the speed test, and I get all the speed tests and all that kind of stuff. I get my speed. I got my regular speed. I have a 10 megabyte connection. I'm getting that. I'm getting everything. But when I try to load a page, like, 3 times out of 5, it just doesn't load the page, and I have to reload and reload and reload until it finally loads the damn page.
That was incredibly boring.
Well,
why did you tell us about it?
You asked.
He's got you there.
and I know I say that to you frequently, but see, I had the answer.
Wait a second. Why is Finny taking your side? Whose side are you on?
We're artists, Dern.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's on your side.
One of these shows, I'm actually going to bring on, like, an artist as well as their writer at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a fun show.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah, too bad it's not going to happen.
Why not?
Well, it's not going to happen.
We know some interesting, fun writers that are fun to talk to, and you know that.
Yeah, but you see, it's called the Sketchcast.
Right.
So, again...
And we also know some very good artists that are not... We also know some very good artists that are not as talkative as their writer partners. Yes.
That's true.
Well, if you can get the combo, well, maybe.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That would be a fun combo to do.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
don't want to have to put up with you after that. You would be insufferable to no end on that show.
It would be a little bit of an "I told you so," but
And
I would give it a small "I told you so." Yeah.
Yeah, you see that's where I probably would go like, nope, 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 not gonna do art on that show.
I do want to actually point out for those listening and fans of the Sketchcast, we are actually planning on taking the next 2 weeks off. This is due to scheduling conflicts of some travel plans and then Emerald City Comic Con in 2 weeks, where the Scallywags table will be there, I will be there, and O will be there in spirit.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't. I'll be busy.
We'll have a giant 8-foot-tall version of you there.
Wow. I want one of those of me.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say you wanted one of those of me. I'm like, well, that's weird. Okay.
It's crazy, a little odd, but no. And the funny thing is, it's actually to scale. So while it's an 8-foot-tall thing, O is still like 5 feet tall.
Finny's not exactly huge. Do you remember Finny?
I'm 5
Yes.
feet tall.
Yeah. So again, no sympathy for you there, Dern.
I'm not. I'm just pointing out that he's not exact. Yeah,
You had a tall
I'm 8
guest
feet
last-
tall.
You had a tall guest last week, and you didn't take advantage of that.
I did.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't take advantage of a tall guest you had last week.
What was the guest last week?
Joe Dunn.
Joe's not that tall.
Yeah, he is. He's way bigger than me.
He's only like 6'1".
Oh.
That's not tall.
Oh, that poor little man. Oh, what is he gonna do?
He's just average.
That's average. That's average.
You just decided, hey, I'm gonna do a show today where nobody's on my side, and you're doing wonderfully.
This is my worldview, is that if the person is my height or taller, I call them tall. And if I'm taller than them, they're not tall.
You just basically explained America in a nutshell.
It's completely experience bias, you know?
Yeah, you just explained the whole thing there. But yeah, you have no friends on today's show.
But at the same time, if we want to go Americans, you are outnumbered 2-1 on the Americans front. So
Unfortunately.
America.
America.
Well,
I like how Finny was just right away getting my back. Like, yeah, unfortunately.
I might have to call in Finny's boyfriend, and then it'll be equal
It'll be
again.
even.
Yeah, so I might have to do that. Yeah, because if I remember correctly, we have something in common, her boyfriend and me.
Alex, they're talking shit about you.
What? They want to fight?
And she just does not hesitate to throw both of us under the bus.
I think this is more for his. I think she's just trolling him more than she's trolling us.
Where's that screen? Link me. I'm gonna get more.
Do you want a link?
But it's a nice combination. Wait, he's not even listening?
He will be in a sec.
Oh.
I'm very disappointed, Alex. Why are you not listening?
It's like, nah. Get a more exciting guest on, then I'll tune in.
We got 20 minutes left.
Where is it?
I gave you the link, dude.
Link me again.
Wow, it's gonna be a rough night in the Finny Chang household.
I did say something.
You just post. You post stuff. Or you can yell really loud.
Yell really loud.
Wow, so
Okay, so we were being cryptic and saying, oh, there's something in common with you two. I can't remember.
well,
What do you guys have in common?
Finny, do you want to take over?
I apologize. I keep getting errors.
No, don't worry. So, Finny, Dern is asking, what is it that Alex and I have in common? Want to chip in?
His not born in America-ness.
He's not actually another Colombian, is he?
No, but
Okay,
close.
so it's not that close. Okay.
Wow, come on. It's something.
There's a huge lag between when I say something and it shows up over here.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it's about, I think, a 15-second delay that they force us to have.
Wait, you mean they do it on purpose?
Yeah, we don't do that. I hate that lag. I mean, it's.
I mean, they actually do that on purpose.
It's probably just the processing and the fact that they don't want to crash YouTube.
This doesn't work, man. I can't hear anything. I'm like 2 minutes behind on the chat here.
Well, that failed.
Yeah, that was interesting. But we do have some questions.
Oh, cool.
One question is who can we blame other than Google?
That's probably a student of mine, isn't it?
Nope, that is actually Suitor's Bane.
Who can you blame that is not
Yes.
Google? Wow. I'm gonna have to go with the serious answer and say you cannot blame anybody but yourself.
Oh.
Come on, Finny, don't make fun of me. You gave me like the super serious I love to make people feel thing.
Yes. Okay. You got me there.
You don't get to make fun of me now.
You want to know who you can blame? I
Rain?
know who you can blame.
You want to blame the rain that was falling?
No. I was going to blame Jimmy Wales.
Oh, I thought you were gonna blame it on the rain.
No.
That was falling.
Well, yeah.
You blame it on the
Yeah.
sun? Yeah. Whatever you do, don't put the blame on you.
No. But no, Jimmy Wales, Wikipedia, blame them. And then the other question that we have is, how did we come up with the idea of the Sketchcast?
How did we come up with this Sketchcast?
Well, I'm a genius.
It wasn't entirely your idea, so please give us
No,
an
it wasn't
honest-
entirely my idea. It basically was a mixture of things. It was, first off, we were doing the Cheesecast, and I hated every minute that I had to edit that thing. And so I liked the idea of coming up with something that we didn't have to edit. We were occasionally jumping in. Jamie Noguchi was starting to do live streams of his as he was just working on his comic at night, which sadly he hasn't gotten to do lately, but I always enjoyed jumping in on those, and it occurred to me that there was something there, and it's also me always wanting, and also realizing that there's a lot of people that have enjoyed watching O draw over the years. I mean, he's famous for the commission-a-thons, which we sadly don't have time to do lately. But, yeah, so it was an idea of getting O back to drawing, getting both of us back on a podcast, neither of us having to edit.
Oh, and there was also I had been toying around with the idea of interviewing different artists for my classes, the classes that I teach. That never actually got done because logistically it would have been a nightmare to set up like an actual live interview with an artist. And if I was just gonna interview artists like online, well, why not just do it this way?
Yeah.
I remember at DragonCon with Chris Pfizer, however you pronounce that.
Mm-hmm.
That I had asked him to actually, let me interview him for my students, and he actually liked the idea. Eventually, that invitation became an invitation to the Sketchcast, which unfortunately got canceled because of.
It got rescheduled. We will have him on later in the year. There was just some communication difficulties there.
Yeah. And also,
entirely my fault. My fault, not Jimmy Wales' fault. Yeah.
And so yeah, it's basically a sort of. I've also always admired, getting to hang out with different artists and just getting to talk with them and kind of see a little bit about their, their process and how they work and all that kind of stuff. It can be a lot of fun. There's also that. There's a lot of stuff, but in the end, we just anything to. We're attention whores.
Yeah, that's a lot of it too.
Anything to draw more attention to ourselves. It works.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's fun. So yeah. So we
It
just
is a
kept
little-
going with it. Yeah.
It is a little exhausting at times, though. A little
Well,
bit. Well, for
for
me.
I was gonna say for me, I'm like, it's interesting for me because I get really antsy at this point in the show because I'm just like, it's very hard for me to sit still for a whole hour and a half, and like mentally tacking off lists. That may have been why at one point we got distracted talking about shows, is because I'm thinking about the mental checklist of what I still have to do for Emerald City. Yeah. And at this point, like, I'm going through the mental checklist of what I have to do to update our store orders at Swag Shark, and we're actually going to have to shut the store off for a couple weeks because we just won't be able to send out orders for a couple weeks. Our merchandise will be stuck on a moving truck for a while.
So, Finni Chang!
What's up?
I really got to talk about this because, that was one of the things. Like, we're doing our show research and I'm getting ready. You had a crappy week, at least from a bicycling standpoint.
Yeah. Basically, what happened is we went out to eat, packed our bikes outside, locked them up, went inside. Food's taking a while, so went outside to go check on the bikes, and they're gone.
Well,
it was like 10 minutes. You went and checked the bikes.
Yeah, that we weren't gone for no more than 10 minutes. So when we filed the police report, we were able to give a pretty accurate time of theft because we were only gone for 10 minutes. Yeah, so that happened.
Where on earth was this?
Just in downtown area. And
I'm sorry, what downtown are you?
I'm in San Jose.
San Jose now, okay.
Why are you so surprised, Aaron?
I remembered it was
like,
but I could have sworn it was like
no,
Diego.
but asking about the place, why are you so surprised? It's
like getting your bike stolen within 10 minutes. That's something that I expect in very few places. Like Detroit, with or without RoboCop, Baltimore, with or without The Wire, and Medellin, Colombia, but not that many places.
Remember, I got my bike stolen from my house.
Yes.
So,
and I was not really surprised.
I don't really have an argument there.
Yeah. But to get your bike stolen within 10 minutes.
Yeah, it really was a case where the guy was probably like either watching us or I don't know.
Was it a particularly good bike?
Yeah, it was a very expensive one.
Ah.
So that's why replacing it is going to be a bit of a hassle. But I did a little fundraiser, and we got enough to replace it in like 12 hours. So it was really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for everyone who was able to contribute and support. So I feel special.
Yeah, I was getting ready for us to have to do a whole bit, make sure everybody knew to help out your fundraiser, and then I checked your Tumblr like right before and was going through your fan art of Animal Crossing and Pokemon, and then was like, well, okay, that bit's useless. All right, back to the show notes.
Yeah, so
it's like we almost do prep for this show, you know.
You tried.
Yeah. What is this teaching me? Like, what is my takeaway? If I do show prep, it's worthless. So I'll do it live.
Okay, well that's definitely not depressing.
No. So yes, a bike was stolen, but Finni's fans are awesome. So thank you, Finni's fans.
Yeah, thank you. If anyone's listening, thank you so much.
I don't know. I mean, not even Alex was listening, so kind of.
Well,
at least our fans are listening. I could give us that credit. Like, we're doing good here.
He was playing Diablo.
Wait a minute. You didn't listen to the show to play Diablo? Come on. I mean, if he was playing Dark Souls, I'd understand. But Diablo?
Maybe some FTL. I could endorse that.
Diablo. I'm very disappointed in you, Alex.
Yeah.
Serious judging.
Yeah. I'm very disappointed in you, Alex. Expected more.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Let's see, you guys got about 8 minutes left on the battle clock.
I just got to the part where they said about Dullahan.
I think it's so slow. Here.
No.
Wait, is he saying the part of Diablo or the part of our Sketchcast?
About the bike.
So,
Ah,
wow.
Yes,
Wow.
It's too late.
wow.
That is way behind.
Can
Well,
we
he's
send
gonna have a lot of
messages?
fun in a minute.
Okay, so time it. We got about 2 minutes before Finny's boyfriend starts cursing at us. So look
Wait,
forward
Fuck you
for that.
guys, I love Diablo.
Yes.
They're
So
making
we
fun
got
of
some-
Diablo.
What? You guys are haters.
If we were smart, we would time it right now, where we would say incredibly polite complimentary things, and then make it so that he's like yelling. Yeah, no, in the other way around. But that would involve us being smart. I was just about to say, very pretty. I'm very much enjoying the palette. The nice golden hues of the harpy there.
Thank you.
And let's check in on O. Yes, I was trying to remember. Did you already redo the palette mix again for the hair, or?
No. I'm not coloring. I don't know if I'm gonna color. Remember, I had a sort of setback in a certain
Yes.
kind of way. So I might go with very simple colors this time.
So now we're on the improvise and make it art. Yes.
Yeah, well, it works.
Yeah, that was nice.
Time constraints are very important for an artist. I got that question a lot in that live event I was doing this week.
Yeah, you actually. I wanted to go over that real quick. Like, you actually did a draw in front of people event in Colombia, right?
Yeah, we at the place where I teach. I mean, one of the places where I teach. We were having a sort of event that's called Art Alive, and it's basically, we kind of gathered the different teachers from the different academies of that school from different parts of the country. So this time, we were here. Maybe some other time I'll go to Bogota or whatever. And we just do live art, and the people can go to the school and kind of see us work and all that kind of stuff. And we answer questions and kind of get to talk to people and all that kind of stuff.
Now, were you able to have like a tablet and computer set up?
Yeah. They have a. I got to try out the 13-inch Cintiq, the 13 HD. Beautiful, awesome tablet. Highly recommended.
It's really cute.
It's awesome. I loved it. It was really, really. I was doubtful at first because I was like, okay, who knows if it's going to be as good as my 22 HD. It is just as good. It is just as good. The only real difference is that it's smaller.
Finny, did you catch where O had to sneak in a brag that he's got a 22 HD Cintiq?
Oh, well, guess what I'm working on?
You also the 22?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
not bragging, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of bragging. But
everybody has it now. Get with the times, Dern.
I got you that Cintiq.
well, you did the act of getting it, but it's not like you paid for it with your inheritance.
I heard that.
I don't even know what he heard now. Like, I'm here wondering, what did he hear?
It's like we have the just.
What did we say a couple of minutes ago?
It's like if Statler and Waldorf were like trapped in their own time bubble. That's what we have right now, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm just here wondering, like, what did we say a few minutes ago that he could be saying? I heard that.
Oh no, I turned on my speaker so you can listen real time.
What? So wait, that was an actual real time just reaction to us, and
yes.
What the hell is he talking about then?
I don't know.
Okay. We're very confused.
Weird man there, Finny.
Yes. Although he's the one that reads commission, so why are we giving him a hard time?
Because being weird in my world is a compliment.
Fair point.
I call myself abnormal. So when I say that you're not normal, I'm actually saying I like you. I don't like you, Darren. You're a very normal person.
I am.
Okay. So
I'm hearing that commentary actually. For those that don't have like headphones on and are carefully following her every word, he definitely did say, "I have a wonderful mustache."
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about a couple of days ago?
Hmm?
I was watching some YouTube videos, and the guy on the videos had a beard. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? People with beards, not trustworthy.
No,
Nope.
not at all.
No, I don't think. No.
No. We probably should actually admit that I do have a beard at the moment. Yes. It's just, it was one of those things where I was like, you know what? I don't have to be sexy for like a whole month, so I ain't shaving it. So I just let it grow out.
Finny, do you have an opinion on beards?
Nope, actually, I don't.
Just, they're there.
I like them
They
when they
exist.
make interesting silhouettes on characters.
That's an excellent point, yes.
Oh.
Now, if your boyfriend were to suddenly grow a beard, like, is he allowed to do that?
No.
Not really, no.
No, he's not allowed.
Point for Finny. Point for
So there definitely is an actual opinion on beards there, because that clearly is the important thing. Like I'm talking about, like, oh yeah, you know, I've got a month here where I'm just not going to shave it. It is completely under the permission of my wife that I get to have a beard, and I am not afraid to admit that.
Well, that's okay, but if that's what he wanted, but he's not getting any kisses. So.
Again, yay, Finny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pat and I can't grow a beard.
He says he can't grow a beard.
Well,
Well,
we will now feel pity for him. We will feel man pity for him. Because that's the thing, is as much as O is knocking on my beard for bizarre reasons,
I can grow it if I want
you
to.
could grow one if you wanted to.
Yeah, I have a full beard if I want to. Like, it's just leave it there for a week and bam, beard. Yeah.
Stubbly
But I
O
can't-
is amusing, yes.
I can't stand the itch. Like, more than a week for me is just itch festival, and I hate it.
Your head turns to like Velcro within like 2 days.
Oh, no. I do shave my head every single day. That is very important to me. I do not leave my head unshaven because that is just awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Fuzz head. I don't have anything against the fuzz head if I could grow a full head of hair, but when I can grow a beard, I cannot grow hair.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Well,
Do you
it's called
personally
being
have...
bald.
Yeah. Finny, do you actually have jealousy and an inability to grow facial hair?
I don't know. Do I?
There's no secret female jealousy there of like, I wish I could have a beard. I think you could rock a beard, and I probably need to actually turn the clock off here.
I don't think Finny
That
wants
is
a
time.
beard. I don't really think Finny would want a beard. Finny, do you want a beard on your face?
I think I'm good with that one.
Good. Good to know.
Good.
What about feathers?
Feathers?
On your
I
face?
find that to be probably difficult to maintain.
Possibly. But could you full screen your art real quick? Let's zoom in on a little bit. We'll start with Finny's.
Let's see. Can I do this thing? Is this a thing I can do?
I just zoom in, out. That's good. That looks nice. So how much of this was what you thought you were drawing in the first 10 minutes?
About this much of it. I
And
actually
then
closed and deleted my thumbnail layers, but this was very similar to my original thumbnail, and I decided to make it vertical instead.
okay. I like how it does work, vertical or horizontal if you want to. So that's a good sign. At what point did you decide to go vertical? That was early on, wasn't it?
Yeah, when I realized I really wanted to show off the feathers, so that was probably easier to do vertically than horizontally.
Oh, do you have any art questions for our guest, or are you still cheating and drawing?
Well, let's see. I would ask her to leave it still so I can look at it.
Oh, this looks so cool.
Could you stop moving it, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I like how she just kept moving it there for another 20 seconds. Like, yeah.
You don't have the lag excuse there, Finny.
I
Could
just
you-
I just selective hearing.
Could you show all of it, please?
He wants you to zoom out a little bit.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
What is she not hearing me?
I did
I-
not.
Am I
Yeah.
gonna have to get angry again?
Your mic is on, I swear.
Okay. No, I really like it. It's got this great color sense. I really like the feathers. Yeah, you definitely were showing off the feathers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good piece. I definitely the thing to me that works the most on it is probably the least noticeable in terms of what you actively notice, and it's the temperature variation. The whole passage from cold in the background and up to nice and warm on her, that kind of really works in the whole scheme. So I really like it.
Thanks.
All right.
It's very. I do have to admit though, when you said Monster Girl, I did not imagine that, not for even 1 second.
All right, then we have O.
Let me full screen that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go.
I'm sensing a lot of spillover inspiration from Monster High.
Definitely. When well, my girlfriend is a huge fan of Monster High, so through her I become very familiar with the series and the toys, and I always buy her one when I go to the U.S. and all that. And when she said Monster Girl, I said, oh, it's a nice opportunity to do something a little bit creepy and all that, while still keeping it kind of with that kind of gothy kind of teenage girl vibe. And at first I was going to do the entire torso skeleton, but then I thought it needed a little bit of flesh there. And so in the end, I was kind of working on it thinking this has like a kind of it's kind of like Monster High meets Garbage Pail Kids. For those of us that remember Garbage Pail Kids.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Monster High meets Garbage Pail Kids, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I did have a nice little change of plans, and I have to admit, my computer is giving me problems today,
Yeah.
which I'm actually planning to upgrade pretty soon.
Okay.
But for now, yeah, it kind of works right there.
Well, I think that's about it for us. I'm going to take one last look. Well, I'm going to say that I'm taking one last look. If you guys have any final questions, there is a comment noting that O sounds really dirty with his requests. I think
Okay, yeah, okay. I will note that during the entire show we have not seen Finny. So we are not actually seeing her.
Yes.
Then again, it is a Finny, totally non-dirty. But could you please zoom into her boobs for a minute?
Oh, yeah, sure.
How is that not dirty?
I actually want to know, Finny, you're one of those very visually anonymous people on the internet.
Plans of
Yes. And like, it's to the point that it's actually noticeable that I don't think I've ever seen a photo of you online.
success.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was asking to zoom in on the boobs because I wanted to see if she was, in effect, topless or not.
Yeah.
And well, I don't
Or
know.
feathered. It's a feathered breast effect.
It would have to be a very low nipple, but it can be low nipple. Nipplage location can vary.
It could be small feathers.
The nipple made of small feathers?
No, there could be like a small feather downy cover over the more what appears to be
kind of like a feathery fuzz covering the nipple.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, I just think it's a very downward nipple. which can work. I've seen downward nipple.
So basically, what you're saying is that one of our audience members think that you sounded a little bit dirty, so you wanted to make sure that there was no doubt.
No,
That's what
I just wanted to like when they said that, I looked at the image and I said, okay, can I be dirty with this image? And I said, well, she's got a huge rack, so
challenge.
So then I just look at the image and I said, well, you know what, I can't really be dirty with an image where she's not showing anything. So then I needed to confirm if she was, in fact, showing something or not. Then again, I would probably do better.
I'm trying to figure out, like, how...
No, it just looks like a butt. No, it just looks like a huge spanked butt.
I was busy digging through Legos, and I suddenly look up, and there's just giant bird boobs all over my screen now, and I'm just going to keep broadcasting that out right now.
Now it... Aww. You know, that's kind of the way I feel when I see cleavage. like, oh, it's looking at me.
Aww.
It wants me. It's being cute for me.
We just peaked and hit our highest viewership.
I think it's amusing to note that the sexiest thing we've had on the Sketchcast is boobs attached to a harpy.
Yes.
So there is that.
Okay, I'm going to have to say that was our last question for the night. Let's wrap it up, give people some reminders that in 1 week you can see Finny at Anime Boston.
Yes.
In 2 weeks, you can see Dern at Emerald City Comic Con. And in 3 weeks, the Sketchcast will be back with special guest Danielle Corsetto.
I love Danielle Corsetto.
Mm-hmm. That is also pending me remembering to remind her that she is booked for that date. Yes.
So definitely not.
So there's a chance that I screw that one up, too. Yes.
Pretty high.
Yeah. Pretty high.
But still.
Well, I'll see Danielle in 2 weeks, so I'll remind her then.
If you remember.
If I remember, yes. Okay. What else do we got?
I don't think we have anything else.
Let's just bunny punch this one and say goodbye to it.
No, bunny punching dies as long as it's attached to babies. Goodbye, bunny punching.
Finny, was there anything that you wanted to say before we go?
No, just thanks so much for inviting me. It was fun.
All right. Thank you. You were a lovely guest.
Take care, guys.
Mm-hmm.